Oh, still there?
Sorry, I'm just drinking Pepsi Max here. I thought you were going to be. I thought you were going to be longer than you were there.
I've been told that before, Derek.
Oh, smut, just pure smut.
I know.
You're dragging this down. That's not even taking into account my bloody stories at the end either.
Exactly. Aye. We'll wait and see.
Kamara dithering in the ball in mid. Sorry. Kamara dithering. I can't even say that. Dithering. See your microphone. Can you stop it rattling?
Keep it up like that.
Aye, if you can.
I like to keep it up.
It's too late for that, Dave. Come on.
This is early for us.
Right, we good to go?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm not starting this. For fuck's sake. I forgot what I'm actually saying. Fuck's sake. Every time I put Leeds in a Cootum, they fucking lose.
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.
Manchester, brace yourself. Rangers are coming!
Hi everyone and welcome to the next episode of the iReady podcast. As ever, I'm your host Derek and with me is my co-host Dave. How are you doing, Dave?
I'm very well, Derek. How are you?
I'm not bad and I managed to get through the intro second time lucky this time.
Second time lucky, the fifth time like the last time.
That was comical.
It certainly was, aye.
Yeah.
So what's happening tonight, Derek? I'm sure you've got plenty to talk about. It's never a quiet time being a Rangers supporter, is it?
No, certainly not. 3 games to cover this time. More average to bad performances with one good half, I think, out the whole 3 games and one bad result but 2 good results. And obviously the goings on of the last couple of days, statements coming out of our ears.
Oh, yeah, statements. I'll let you get into that one later on.
Yes. So we'll go down the tunnel and onto the pitch. So before we actually get into any of the games, we'd probably better talk about the transfers at the close of the window then, wouldn't we, Dave?
Yep. Definitely, yes. So,
as we kind of mentioned in the last podcast here, Enis Hadji has been confirmed on loan until the end of the season with a view to buy. So certainly from what we've seen of him so far, he's certainly going to be an outstanding player. Canberry has confirmed on loan until the end of the season as well from Hibs. He gave an interview afterwards, basically ending his Hibs career, didn't he? Saying it was his dream to play with us after playing against us the first time. The seethe from the Hibs fans has been absolutely priceless.
I don't know what you mean, Derek, because the Hibs fans are such a level-headed bunch, aren't they? I mean, surely they would be, glad to see one of their players make the step up in the football ladder and come and sign for such a huge club, but maybe that's just me.
Oh, well. Fuck them.
No, as you say, the seethe it was a bit of a kick in the stones, Derek, wasn't it? Let's be honest. Consider he's just signed for his own loan and he's actually still their player. So no, I thought that was absolutely hilarious, and it also brought a bit of a newspaper headline with that bird that won the lottery that apparently used to go out with him as well.
It was kind of backwards compliment as well, was it? No, calling him a donkey in bed. I mean, I thought being a donkey in bed was a good thing, so maybe I've been doing it wrong all these years.
Derek, I really didn't want to know.
Yes, and on the other side of that, Greg Docherty went to Hibs until the end of the season as well on loan, so hopefully he'll get used a wee bit more than Middleton did.
I think he will, Derek. I mean, Greg Docherty, let's be honest with you, we've spoke about it before. He is a Premiership player. He proved that when he was playing for Hamilton. He was Hamilton's main man. when he was playing there. I think he will get his chance at Hibs, and let's be honest, it might actually be a good move for him getting back in, because I know we've been slagging off Hibs, but they are a top 6 team in Scotland, so the standard I think will be a bit better, bit bigger matches, and I actually think it might be quite good for him, and here's hoping that he does get his chance and come back and can add to our squad. But no, I think it will be a good move for him.
Yeah, I would probably say it's his last chance as well. He's got to really impress this time, because he seems to want to fight for his place in our team, which is great to see. But at the same time, he's running out of chances, I think, after being out on loan several times. So, talking of Glenn Middleton there as well, he's joined Bradford on loan till the summer as well. And weirdly, Stuart McCall has just become their manager for the third time as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So good luck to him.
Good luck, yep. And 19-year-old Lewis Mayo has joined Partick Thistle on loan, presumably until the end of the season as well. So, a bit of wheeling and dealing going there. We kind of expected there not to be a lot of transfers in. I've maybe expected a few more to go out, mind you, but got to be fairly content with that window there.
I think with Defoe getting injured, Derek, we said in the last pod that, a striker, we're definitely needing a striker. I honestly don't know that much about Canberra. I know he's a big guy, different type of striker from Morelos. So, again, something completely different. Surely will add something to the squad. We've still to see him, actually do anything for us, but it certainly gives us another option in there, Derek. And as you say, but I'm sure you're about to get into with the match recaps, Hadji certainly looks as if he's got the touches and the skill to improve us, especially in that position, sort of playing behind the striker. So no, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's been 2 good signings, Derek, and just have to keep our fingers crossed that they do well. At the same time, I don't want to. I hope that Morelos starts and goes on a run, so we don't actually need Canberra at all. But it's always good to have him there as cover, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first game we've got to cover is Saturday the 1st of February. It was a 0-each draw at home to Aberdeen. We lined up McGregor, Polster, Goldson, Katic, Barisic, Kamara, Arfield, Davis, Kent, Morelos and Aribo. On the subs bench we had Foderingham, Tavernier, Edmondson, Hadji, Ojo, Barker and Canberra. The notable absentee there was Flanagan again, and I think he's not really going to see the light of day again in a Rangers top, is he?
Well, Derek, I'm not too sure, going by reports tonight about tomorrow's game, which we'll get into later on, and maybe an injury to one of our key fullbacks. You might see Flanagan in there, but we'll wait and see. But I'll let you get into this game first, and we'll talk about that one later on.
Yep. So, on the 4th minute, the ball was crossed in from the right from Aberdeen. However, the attacker couldn't get any contact in it. It was really dangerous play again. Really dangerous play there from Aberdeen. 6th minute was a lovely ball through the middle into the box. Arfield on run in, cuts it back to Aribo, but the defender just gets in front of him and knocks out for the corner. 12th minute, free kick from the left of our half by Aberdeen, floated in, headed up, not cleared, and Aberdeen get a slow-paced header, goal bound, forcing McGregor to tip it over the bar. Again, really dangerous from Aberdeen there. Certainly so far in the early doors, they were getting the best chances. 28th minute, playing a high line and Katic caught in possession in midfield. Cosgrove robs him of the ball. A drive and run with the ball going forward. Nobody around him. McGregor does fantastic to check his run and to time it so he came out and met Cosgrove and the ball. Cosgrove knocked it too far in front of him, and McGregor does fantastic to take the ball away from him there. So really, really poor from Katic there, but just the awareness of McGregor just to check his run and make sure he wasn't going to foul the player initially, but also do enough to put him off.
Certainly was, yep.
30th minute, lots of possession, looking for the perfect angle. Ball comes to Davis just outside the box and has a great shot. It was going into the bottom corner, but the keeper pulled off a great save and out for the corner. That was certainly the best chance we had in the half, I think, from that.
Yeah.
41st minute, Morelos gets the ball to the right of the goal and hits a shot. Keeper saved but bounces off him. Arfield couldn't quite run in to get the ball before the keeper got it again. 42nd minute, corner in from the right. Arfield gets his head to it at close range and a fantastic instinctive save by the keeper again. So we're coming closer, but their keeper keeping them in it on a couple of occasions.
Yes, he always seems to have a stormer against us, Derek, for some reason, doesn't he? And that was yet another fantastic save by him.
So, into half-time, I don't know how I felt about that. It was ultimately, we were trying too hard again when it came to the the final third, their keeper was having a good game, but at the same time, our keeper had to be on the ball as well. Aberdeen had their chances.
It was the final third again, Derek, wasn't it? It was just, we were doing everything right in midfield, we were winning the ball, we were getting it forward, but it was just that final pass or final shot, it just wasn't happening for us. It was very frustrating. I think it was more frustrating for not their. It wasn't the fact that their defence was snuffing us out. It was the fact that we just felt that we were just missing something, weren't we? It was just that final ball, or we were just crying out for somebody just to you produced a wee bit of magic at some point, but it just wasn't happening for us.
No, certainly not. And it's the thing we've been kind of lambasting the team for a wee while now, is the lack of invention up front as well. It was very samey, but you've got to balance that out with the fact that their keeper did make a few great saves, not just run-of-the-mill saves, a few great saves. So into half-time, looking for something a wee bit extra. On the 57th minute, lovely angled ball from Goldson on the right at the halfway line, right to Morelos on the edge of the box. Outstanding control, and then got his shot away, but it's saved by the leg of the keeper and out for the corner. So another good save by the keeper. Yep. 60th minute, Barisic with the ball on the left, cuts inside, hits a curling shot, and another good save by the keeper. 61st minute, Goldson booked for dissent after Cosgrove with yet another foul, and he doesn't get booked. Now, we've got plenty to talk about with referees over these three games. This was one of the games where Cosgrove once again got the protection of the referee despite fouling numerous times. I think this was on his 9th foul and he still didn't get booked. Goldson, he didn't look as if he was animated at all. He was just asking it looks as if he was kind of pointing out the fact that Cosgrove had several fouls, yet he's the one that get booked. Absolutely baffling refereeing there.
As you say, Derek, it was just constant, wasn't it? And we were losing count of the amount of niggly fouls, and usually a referee will let it go 2 or 3 times, but then he'll produce the yellow card to try and stop it. But it just wasn't happening, as you say. It just kept going, and everybody was asking the same thing: what the hell? What the hell's is it going to take before a yellow card comes out? Because it was just constant.
Yeah, absolutely. 65th minute, Kamara dithering in midfield again, gets robbed of the ball. Aberdeen player nips in, gets the ball forward and hits a shot just by the left post. Really poor from Kamara again. As I said before, he looks like the £50,000 player, not the £3 or £4 million player.
I know, Derek. Again, and it seems to be from when we've came back on the break. We said it in the last pod as well. We want to know what the hell's happened to him. For a guy who looked so composed on the ball and so assured, picking the ball up, winning the ball, he just, he's getting caught out one too many times. And we were really, really lucky that we got away with that one there, Derek, because if that had been a better team than Aberdeen, we could well have been punished severely for that one.
Yeah, couldn't disagree there at all. Aye. And maybe the manager seen that as well, because a minute later he got hooked and he was playing poorly most of the game. We were looking for maybe Hadji to come on, certainly something different. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And who comes on? Ojo, once again.
I'll not tell everybody what your text to be was when that happened, Derek, but...
You'll need to tell me, because I forgot.
Oh, no. It was, put it this way, it was something not very flattering towards Ojo, put it that way. I said to you at the time, Derek, why does he not bring Hadji on? It will give the supporters a lift. It might give the team a wee lift. Do you know what I mean? Just, he give us something. We needed, just a wee spark for somewhere. And I really think he made the mistake not bringing him on. I know that it would, his first game and it's no going great and stuff like that. But it just have been the perfect time, I think, to bring him on to try and spur the team on. But he chose not to do it and bring on Ojo. And again, I'm not one for lambasting Ojo. There's been certain games he's played well for us. He's not had a great game for us in a long time, to be fair. But I'm not going to lambast him. But I know there are a lot of fans out there who don't want him and are sick, fed up of him being the sub that comes on. And I just think that when he came on, that just made the mood even worse inside Ibrox. You don't think so?
Yeah, I fully agree there. 69th minute, Aberdeen with a quick break forward, gets a shot off, McGregor saves it, doesn't get a hold of it, but the defence gets the loose ball cleared. 71st minute, Aberdeen with a free kick near the corner flag on the left. Aberdeen with a free header in the centre of the box. Great dive and save by McGregor to knock it clear, and the defender gets it away. Again, going into the last parts of the game, the opposition having the better chances, which, it doesn't give you enough time. It's one thing if you give chances away like that in the early doors of the game, you've got enough time to come back. But at this rate, we just knew if we were losing a goal, we weren't getting a goal back because it was the way we were playing today. 76th minute, Arfield off and Hadji finally on, but really 14 minutes to make an impact wasn't going to happen. No. 83rd minute, Polster came off and Canberry came on, so he certainly looks as if he was going for it there, taking the defender off and putting the kind of the attacker on, which was good to see. 86th minute, Ojo plays a great ball through the middle to Canberry to go one-on-one with the keeper, but the keeper was alert and came out to save it. It was offside in any case. And in the 90th minute, the ball was played into space on the right, looking for Ojo to run onto it, but he seemed not to be arsed and not really wanting to go for it. He eventually got to the ball, but it was too late for him to do anything because it was really right at the touchline and he failed to keep it in as well. So really poor. That's how the game ended. Once again, it was the lack of invention up front. Aberdeen we kind of knew they were going to play like this, very tightly packed and try and hit us in the break. It's the way every team seems to play against us, and it works. Lack of invention, and I would ultimately say it goes down to poor tactics as well from Gerrard by not making changes sooner. Yeah,
just again, I'll not repeat myself, but it was just a poor decision. I think the substitutions that he made at the time, just exactly what you've said there, Derek. But again, just I don't know. We keep repeating ourselves. It just seemed to be that final ball was lacking. Very frustrating for us, as you say. We weren't expecting anything else from Aberdeen. Just like every other team that comes to Ibrox, it's they'll pack their defence, and we should have the quality, Derek, to be able to unlock any team in Scotland, especially at home. And I think that was the more frustrating thing for me than anything else.
Yep. So move on to the next game now. It was Wednesday the 5th of February. It was a 2-1 win at home against Hibs in the Premiership. So we lined up McGregor, Tavernier, Edmondson, Goldson, Hadji, Davis, Kent, Aribo, Morelos, Barisic and Arfield. On the subs bench we had Fotheringham, Polster, Katic, Kamara, Barker, Jones and Stewart. Now looking at the team sheet, you really can't argue with that. Tavernier coming back in obviously after his op, Hadji making a start, Edmondson in, and Kamara, who had been playing poorly, would drop to the bench. So it's not bad.
Yes, though it's certainly a more attacking looking team, Derek, and I think we were all pleased to see Hadji playing from the start, just to see what he could give us. And certainly going by this game, he looks as if he's going to be a good player for us, a valuable player. But I'll let you get into it.
Absolutely. Obviously, of note, Canberry wasn't playing or on the bench because Hibs being his parent club. Yeah. That's one of these new things that they do with loan signings. Yep. And he wouldn't feature in the next game either because he was cup tied. So hopefully this game tomorrow we might see a wee bit more of him if need be. But anyway, on the second minute, lovely dink of the ball with the outside of the foot with Tavernier down the right. Morelos running onto the ball, had a first-time shot on the edge of the box, forcing the keeper into a good save. 12th minute, quick break from Hibs down the right, ending in the ball being fed to the attacker, who has a first-time shot at an angle. McGregor makes a save with his leg and out for the corner. 28th minute, Morelos shot from the edge of the box, but it hits the side netting. And then we went 1-0 down on the 35th minute. The free kick was floated into the box, headed up in the air by the Hibs player. It was going towards McGregor. McGregor kind of came out for it. Whittaker comes right across him and more or less takes him out with his arm. No foul given. Ball falls to the Hibs player, who knocks it into the back of the net. Now, the consensus appears to be that McGregor basically made an arse of it there. As much as that could be that's maybe the case, I think, given the fact that there's so much protection on keepers these days, that was a clear foul to me and it shouldn't have stood.
Well, Derek, as you know, I was actually working, so I couldn't get to see the game, and you were keeping me updated. And the first thing I said to you after seeing it on, various media platforms was that Alan McGregor had made an arse, and to be fair to you, instantly he said to me, no, it was a clear foul by Whittaker. When I saw the replays, I was looking at it through how you had said it, and it certainly did look to me as if he'd basically charged right through him. But various opinions. I've seen a few Rangers fans on social media think that McGregor made an arse it as well. So, but like you, I thought that usually goalkeepers are given some protection. It certainly wasn't given any protection there. But regardless, Hibs scored and we went 1-0 down.
Yep, and we thought it was going to be one of these type of games. Obviously, after the Hearts game where we lost, people were going mad. After we drew against Aberdeen, people were going even madder and basically saying the league's over. And as much as I didn't believe that then, certainly another loss wouldn't make it any easier. And I thought this is where it was going. However, we kept on playing on. On the 41st minute, Morelos had a shot from the outside of the box, but it was right at the keeper, who gets down to gather it cleanly. 42nd minute, Kent clearly taken out in the box. Madden sees it. He actually waves and makes a gesture. It may have indicated he dived, but there was no yellow, no penalty. A baffling decision for me.
Yes, definitely.
42nd minute, good play to Arfield, who sets up the volley for himself, but it was off target. And then unfortunately we drew level just before half time in the 46th minute with Edmondson scoring. It was a free kick whipped into the box on the right from Tavernier, hits off two Hibs players right to Edmondson at the back post, who has a first time shot into the back of the net. Bit of fortune, but certainly great awareness from Edmondson and a good finish.
Yeah. No, it was a great finish actually, Derek. I mean, I know it did, it took the deflection, stuff like that, but he certainly, for a big defender like that, to be able to get his shot at a tight angle like that first time, great technique, and thank God that we drew level just before half time.
Yeah, and that seemed to change things, because I think you never obviously want to go into half-time losing, and it seemed to spark the team up, and I think Gerrard had to have a go at a few players as well at half-time, and it certainly worked, because after half-time we were, I wouldn't say a different team, but we were a more focused team, and we just went for it, and Hadji shone in this half. 45th minute, good move down the left. There was a cross in, and Hadji in the box with a volley wide. It looked from the TV angle that it was an absolute screamer and it went in, but I'd actually shouted out at that point because I thought it was in, but never mind. 48th minute, down the left hand side, ended in Barisic getting a cross into Aribo, who had a flick, forcing the keeper into a great save. Rebounds back out to him, but couldn't get a shot off, and the defender clears it for the corner. 59th minute, corner in from the left, a break of the ball from about 6 yards. Aribo on the spin and had a shot, well, tightly marked, but it went well over the bar. 62nd minute, ball down the left hand side with Barisic having a chipped ball into space in the box, which found Morelos running in, got the shot off, but the keeper gets the leg to it for the corner. Corner came in, ending in Edmondson getting another shot off and saved again by the leg of the keeper and out for another corner. 67th minute, off the ball incident where the ball was played forward. Bobby Madden, the referee, had turned his back to look where the ball was going, that's what you're meant to do. However, the Hibs attacker Boyle completely deviated, went right for our defender and put the elbow right into the defender. The play was pulled back by, I can only assume that it was the linesman that flagged it and went through the earpiece there, yet there was no yellow card. It was actually bordering on a red card, never mind a yellow. Yeah. Surely one for the compliance officer, but we've heard nothing since. Yeah, surprising. Not. I mean, this is the thing. If the ref, surely then the linesman's got to say that's a yellow card, because if it's an off-the-ball instant where he's changed his path to try and take out the player deliberately, that's a yellow card. Well, you would like to think so, Derek, but again, we've seen some baffling decisions just in this game alone. So yeah. 68th minute, Hadji with a free kick from 25 yards on the left forces a good save from the keeper out for the corner. This was telling though, because Tavernier was standing over it with Barisic as well, and whether Hadji basically said no, I'm taking it, or Tavernier just said if you want to have a go, have a pop. We've seen it lately. Tavernier, I know he's only just came back this game, but since he missed that penalty against Celtic, he seems to be deferring a lot of decisions, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, at the same time, he obviously thought to himself, it's my first full debut in the starting 11, and he maybe felt confident. So get to the guy that's fully confident. But it's maybe Tav, his confidence has been knocked. But at the same time,
when he was out, for that period, he certainly had the full support of the fans desperate for him to come back into the team. So you would think that he would be, well up for it coming back into the team. But who knows? It might just be something simple like, Hadji said, look, I feel confident I want to take it, and he's gave him it, So
yeah,
who knows?
Yep. 69th minute, Aribo came off and Stewart came on. 70th minute, Hibs had a shot from 20 yards on the spin, but right at McGregor and a comfortable save. 72nd minute, Hadji with a shot just outside the box, comes off the arm of the defender and out for the corner. Looked like he was trying to make his body big to try and get the ball. For me, another clear penalty.
No, I thought it was a stoneholler, Derek, when I seen it back. But again, we didn't get anything, but I was sure it was as well when I watched it back. Yeah.
80th minute, Kent off and Jones came on, and the 84th minute, Hadji gets the winner to put us 2-1 up. Ball up in the air, which Arfield heads it forward. Goldson, who had his back to goal at the edge of the box, heads it towards goal on the right-hand side for the on-running Hadji, who had a first-time shot into the far post. An outstanding goal from Hadji there. Just shows the ability to get forward, see the space, and then be so composed and hit that shot as well. Brilliant. And I've not highlighted it much, but he basically ran that midfield in the second half, didn't he?
It was excellent, Derek. He was always looked to get forward. He looked really good on the ball as well. Did the panic once, and that finish was sublime, wasn't it? I mean, he had time to actually take a touch, but he didn't need it. And absolute inch perfect. The accuracy was fantastic. And the power, for it to go in also, because if that had been a sort of, slightly less powerful, I think the goalkeeper would have got his hand to it. But no, absolutely sensational goal, and worthy of winning any match, shall we say. It was just great all round, and it really got everybody back up. It got the supporters excited. It gave everybody a lift, and just the perfect time to do it as well.
Yep, and his celebration as well, running right up to the camera, pointing for his dad that it was a goal to celebrate his 55th birthday. So yep. If that's a sign, if we ever needed one,
55.
There we go. What's funny about the Hadji goal as well, just before that my dad had sent me a message saying, Hadji's a left footer, why is he playing more on the right? And I says he can use both feet. And then the goal scored was literally about 2 minutes later, and I went, see, told you, it was the right foot he scored with.
Yeah, it was an absolutely outstanding finish, so it was.
Yep. 87th minute though, he came off and Kamara came on. 88th minute was a long free kick into our box by Hibs, headed towards goal at close range, but it was powder puff and easily gathered by McGregor. And now it descended less than a minute later into a wrestling match. It was WWE personified right there. The ball breaking forward for Morelos, clearly held back for about 5 seconds, and then wrestled to the ground. A free kick given, but no yellow. I have never seen anything like that in my life in terms of refereeing.
Unbelievable. The fact, Derek, that he had the Hibs defender, their left back, had both of his arms up underneath Alfredo's arms, and like as if their hands were on his shoulders. So that, for one, it wasn't even the fact that he was holding his jersey back. He actually had both arms right round him. And as you say, if it wasn't bad enough, he hauled him at the ground and actually threw him over his own body. You don't even see anything like that in rugby. It was quite incredible. And as you say, for just a free kick to be awarded there and no yellow card, words just fail me. They really do.
I mean, I think Bobby Madden was thinking he was John Madden for a moment there. It was just a ridiculous decision. And, the whole point is as well that there was the near side linesman was right in front of it. So how come he couldn't even see that, the fact that was a yellow card offence?
It was incredible. It really was.
Yeah. And then the fourth official gave an inexplicable 5 minutes of injury time. Do not know where that came from. And then 93rd minute, Morelos gets the ball on the right, turns Stevenson inside out, going into the box, had a shot flash across goal and a good save from the keeper to stop it going into the bottom left-hand corner. Just before that, though, Darren McGregor for Hibs came on, and he done not as bad a wrestling match, but a clear stopping the player getting forward instant, where every day of the week that's a yellow card, but no yellow card for him. I know he was just on I know he was just on the park, but it's called the letter of the law.
Yeah.
So this is where it comes into it now, that referees are going against the rules. So is there any wonder why there's now claims of just cheating from referees going on, which we'll get into later about Michael Beale, but is there any reason why? Because that is just, several instances in this game, and I know I've only highlighted a couple, it was just baffling the way the referee was handling the game, allowing things to go, and that's the last two games, allowing things to go when they shouldn't have, not following the rules, not giving clear-cut penalties, giving decisions for somebody when they should have been against them. I just don't understand where it's coming from, and that's Bobby Madden. He's a known arsehole when it comes to refereeing. Andrew Dallas, he seems to, he gave us 4 penalties in the one game last year, and he got absolute stick from everywhere. The media, from obviously the Celtic fans, the St Mirren fans who the team had happened against, and ever since then he seems to have gone out of his way to not give us things when even though they should be given, like allowing Cosgrove to go several fills and still not book him, and then inexplicably book our player for actually saying to him, you've no booked him. So
some of the decisions, Derek, were baffling more than, and us saying that they're incompetent. It was just quite incredible. As I say, that last one, I still honestly can't go over that. I can't go over that one at all. I don't think, the same as you, I've ever seen a tackle like that before, because it was worse than a rugby tackle. And and as you say, you've highlighted a few there, but there were loads of incidents just in that one game. But this is happening every single game, Derek, and we've been saying it for so long that some of the decisions are baffling.
Yeah, I mean, look, I always go down the route of the fact that it's a very tough job with referees. It's even tougher now than it was before, because you've got multiple camera angles, you've got clubs with their own cameras, you've got people all around the stand on social media. We've got the benefit of multiple replays. They've only got that instant to do it. It's a difficult game. But when they're getting I'm not even going to say when they're getting decisions like that wrong, because it's just not doing their job properly. That's exactly what it is. If he could see it was a foul, then he surely can see that was a yellow card offence. So they're not doing their job properly.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And things will go for you and go against you every season, and that's just the nature of it. You'll get these decisions, and I fully subscribe to that. However, it's now at the stage, as you said, it's happening every single game to us and multiple times. And Celtic fans, come on, and I know they're listening tonight, so hello, thanks for actually making us some money on this one as well. But ultimately, Celtic had a couple of decisions, a few offside ones. I know they keep harping back to, John Hartson being onside in a cup final and all that kind of thing when he was ruled offside, and they hark back to the Dundee the game where they effectively had a linesman lied to him about his decision he made, but he actually made the correct decision. He just lied about how he went about it. And then they hark back to the Jim Farry and George Cadetti thing where the registration was withheld. Celtic fans have got very little proof when it comes to the claiming by refereeing bias against them, whereas in this season alone we can highlight about off the top of my head probably about 24 things that should have went for us that have not went for us, and it's been blatantly obvious. I mean, you look at going into last season, blowing a kiss to an opposition player gets you a yellow card offence, which basically got the guy sent off, and then there was no way of appealing that. I mean, it's just absolutely ludicrous the way Celtic fans can come on, claim that there's refereeing bias against them, and then they think we are unbelievable for actually claiming that the referees have got it in for Rangers when there's a clear evidence trail of that happening. So, as I said, I'm not one for conspiracy theories, but it's getting more and more difficult to actually dissuade people from thinking that now, because the evidence is overwhelming when it comes to that now.
Derek, I've been listening to them a wee bit longer than what you have, mate, and it's always the same. That it's always that old adage of playing the victim constantly. Even when they're on top, they're still the victim. It's some things will never change. But as you say, it's not just in wee decisions here and there. It's decisions that are changing how the matches are played out for us. It's quite incredible this season. We didn't think that last season could be topped, but so far I think it's been topped, and we're only halfway through the season, aren't we? And as you say, we can the amount of refereeing decisions that have cost us this season has been quite incredible. It's getting worse and worse.
Yeah, I mean, Celtic fans have got a cheek when they should have had 3 players sent off in the last Old Firm game, and then they shouldn't have bloody won the cup final because they had 3 players offside. So, I don't know. Anyway, we'll go into the next game anyway. I had enough about referees, which we've still got referees to discuss in this game. Next game was Saturday the 8th of February. It was a 4-1 win away. That was quite difficult to say. 4-1 win away against Hamilton in Scottish Cup Round 5. We lined up with McGregor, Tavernier, Goldson, Edmondson, Barisic, Kamara, Arfield, Aribo, Kent, Morelos and Hadji. On the subs bench we had Foderingham, Davis, Halliday, Katic, Jones, Stewart and Polster. So in the 4th minute, good passing play down the left, intricate and tight passing ending in a dinked cross into the box from Kent, and Hadji had a header just wide. 9th minute, quick break forward, switching from left to right by Hamilton, ending in a fast-paced shot just inside the box, making McGregor pull off a good save. 21st minute, Kent with a placed shot from the edge of the box, but a comfortable save from the keeper. And then on the 23rd minute, we got a penalty. Morelos took the ball round the player in the box. He went one way, the ball went the other way, and the defender, as he was falling, threw his body right in front of Morelos for a clear obstruction. And block his path and get penalty given. No arguments there at all.
Yep. No, definitely not. No.
So we got another penalty taker, and he fucked up again, didn't he? However, he scored the rebound. Scott Arfield steps up, shoots to the left, keeper saved it, but rebounds out and taps it in the rebound. Really fortunate. It was a poor penalty, and it was just at the right height for the keeper to save.
Derek, we've been saying it again. The main man at this moment in time for taking set pieces and free kicks is Barisic. I am really quite puzzled as to why he's not the man that's been picked to take the penalties if it's no Tav anymore. As I say, Arfield, I mean, to be fair to Arfield, he's the man kind of in form now, isn't he? He's the man that's been scoring goals and stuff like that. So it's he obviously was desperate to take it, but as you say, it was a poor penalty and very fortunate that it just sort of landed straight back at him for the tap in. So thankfully we scored it in the end.
Aye, exactly. So 34th minute, lovely ball from Hadji from the middle to the right of the box for Morelos, who got into space, went 1v1 with the keeper, but the keeper had narrowed the angle. Morelos got the shot off, but it was saved for the keeper and out for the corner. However, on the 38th minute, Hamilton drew level. It was a really poor goal to lose as well.
Yes.
Hamilton get the ball forward with a long ball down the left to the middle. We were backing off all the time. Hamilton player holds it up. A simple pass to the right for the overlapping attacker. We were still backing off at this point, and really it was a simple trundling ball into the left-hand post. Really, really poor. Simple balls all the time. The fact that our defenders were just backing off, granted there was only 2 of them back at the time because we're playing such a high line up because we're getting all the possession, but they need to be doing better. They need to commit themselves when they're outside the box. The players still got a lot to do, and especially with some of the weird teams, going one-on-one with the keeper can be a daunting thing. They need to have a lot of composure. Our players don't do it very well sometimes. So, you know, we've got a great keeper as well. They've got to come up against who's generally quite good at these things. So you've got to make the decision and go for the ball at some point, and they just never did.
Yeah, but as you say, it made it very easy for them. And to be fair, they're not usually quite as hesitant as that, Derek. But unfortunately, there, I don't know if he was maybe caught in 2 minds. I don't know whether he thought that the goalkeeper was maybe further back than what he was, or he was maybe a bit closer. I honestly don't know, but it was pretty poor defending by our standards anyway, and unfortunately we paid for it.
Yep, absolutely. 42nd minute, good cross from the left from Barisic with Hadji having a volley in the box, bounced right in front of the keeper, but it was a decent save, spilled but gathered quickly again before we could get the tap in. 46 minutes, a quick break up the park. Aribo feeds the ball to Kent, who has a shot from the edge of the box and a good save for the keeper out for the corner. And in the moment of controversy in that same minute, there was a cross in from the box from Hamilton from the right. Goldson dived in on the deck to get his head to it. The ball hits off Goldson's outstretched arm, and then it's smothered by his body for McGregor to gather. Now, going by the letter of the law, people have looked at it, it was not a penalty. However, a lot of people are claiming, and even our own fans, even apparently Michael Beale said that was a clear penalty and we got away with one there. All I can say is you look at the last game, we never got a penalty for a clear handball in the box. You look at as well the two Russell Martin incidents from a couple of years ago. Ironically, one of them was in the same stadium when we were playing Hamilton away, and he slid in and the ball hit his hand and we got a penalty against us there. So it's situations where I've seen them given for us, I've seen them given against us. I've not seen them given like this one was. You look at a Hearts decision last year as well, where there was a clear handball in the box when the ball hit his hand, which was above his head. I think, yes, could we have got away with one there? Absolutely. But it's one of these things, I think the rules are confusing referees.
I'm still quite baffled as to what Goldson was doing, Derek. I don't know if he tried to chest the ball down McGregor initially, and it was maybe too far down, or I honestly don't know what the hell he was doing, because it was too low, in my opinion, for him to head the ball. Maybe he was just going to go for the chest and it was too far down, so just to throw himself at it because he was too far out. I still honestly don't know what it was that he was doing, and I think he was lucky to get away with it. I know you're saying that the letter of the law and stuff like that, Derek, but it certainly looked at the time, it could well have gone against us, and it didn't, thankfully. But I just, as I say, I'm more baffled as to what Goldson was trying to do with the ball more than anything else.
Yeah, just poor defending again. Yeah, we maybe got away with them on there, but as I've said in the post-match pod, again, listen in, all you Celtic fans here, that makes up for the several decisions we never got that should have been in the last game. Just alone, that one decision makes up for about 20 decisions Bobby Madden never gave us. So,
yeah,
swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, definitely, yep.
But yeah, we maybe got away with one there. So, anyway, just after that as well, Hamilton break up the park, 1v1 with the keeper. However, Kamara manages to speed in and managed to get the ball clear. Absolutely superb defending from Kamara there. Out of nothing as well, the chance came, and Kamara, who's been poor for weeks, comes up with something like that. Yep,
definitely. Good to see, Derek. Yep.
So into half-time there, as I kind of said in the post-match reaction, you could have listened to any of my other post-match reactions and it's really just replayed them because it was the exact same. We had most of the play, we were poor up front, caught out on the break, and that's how it seems to be going.
Yeah.
As I've said, I think we need to try and vary our play up. Don't have possession as much and maybe allow the other team to come out at us, and that'll maybe make more gaps at the back.
I don't know. We seem to be stuck in a wee rut now, Derek. Don't we? As you say, I would like to see us mix it up slightly, but we seem to be doing the same thing all the time, and it's making it, I'll not say easy for teams, but it's letting teams know exactly how we're going to play, which I'm quite surprised about. So, just exactly like what you say, it's we should be maybe even just trying to, as you say, just try to hold on and let teams try and come on to us to create space for ourselves. But it's I don't know, it's at that point in the game, Derek, it was quite worrying, but thankfully we managed to go on and get the breakthrough no long after that.
Yeah, so we started off the second half much the way we started off the first half, fairly bright, getting in about it, and then we just died off again. However, on the 67th minute, we scored our second goal with Joe Aribo scoring. Kent down the left, stays tight to the touchline, starts to drift in, his pace gets him past his man, cross on the deck to cut it back to Aribo in the box, and a first time shot into the back of net. Outstanding goal from Aribo there, the shot. But Kent, that was the player we've signed. That was the player doing the darting runs, cutting inside and getting the great ball across.
That's what we're looking for, Derek. No even, his trademark of cutting in and having a shot. Just getting the ball into dangerous areas. And to be fair to Aribo, it was a fantastic finish. I mean, it was great play. And the shot for the outside of the boot, right into the bottom corner, outstanding goal. And after that just sort of kind of steadied our nerves a bit, didn't it? And that done the trick for us. But because we were toiling before that, but absolutely a fantastic goal. Really good to see, and another player that's been pretty quiet since the break has been Aribo, who was excellent before we went away. So I'm hoping that will do his confidence a world of good as well.
Yep, absolutely. However, the pain in the arse moment of the night came on the 68th minute. Just a minute later, Barisic off and Halliday came on. Barisic looks as if he's picked up a knock, and I never heard the presser today. What if he's going to be a doubt, I think, for tomorrow then?
He's a doubt, Derek, and that's why when you were talking about Flanagan earlier on, because we've not got great cover in that position, we don't have a natural left back to put in there. So does he go for Flanagan? Well, we'll talk about that game next after this game, but certainly a big miss for us if he is going to be missing.
Yep. So on the 70th minute, Tavernier with a free kick from 20 yards up and over the wall, but no pace and easily gathered by the keeper. 73rd minute, Hadji off and Davis on. 81st minute, Kent off and Stewart on. And in the 84th minute, we sealed the game, going 3-1 up with Morelos scoring. Aribo through the middle, passes wide left to Stewart, starts to cut inside, possibly a shot, but it was deflected up off the boot of the defender, right to the back post, and Morelos heads it into the back of the net and getting his first goal of 2020. So hopefully he's been a wee bit, I know he's been out suspended a few games, but he was looking just a wee bit, I wouldn't say rusty, just a wee bit off the boil, but hopefully that settles any nerves he might have, and so he can power on through now.
Definitely, Derek. I honestly think that will spur him on now. I was delighted for him to score. Good goal as well. Instinctive poaching there from Morelos. Good header. He saw the flight of the ball. He nipped in there. Good header, goal. Delighted for him. And like I said, I think that's the goal that he was looking for. And as I say, I think that'll be him back, or I hope that'll be him back. But I'm quite confident that'll spur him on now.
Yep. And then we weren't finished there though. 91st minute, probably the pick of the bunch. Arfield scores his second of the game. It was a quick break up the park down the left, cross in, clear from the defender, and with a 25-yard beautifully placed first time shot in the top bin, Arfield scores his second. Brilliant goal.
Superb goal, Derek. The last time that we went to New Douglas Park, it was Ryan Kent that scored that absolute peach, but I think Scott Arfield even beat him there. Absolutely tremendous first time shot, and it just actually clipped the underside of the bar and went in. It was fantastic. Really pleased for him, Derek. He's been the one player that has stepped up since we've came back from the break, because he had it was pretty. By his standards, he was pretty poor before the winter break, and he was out of the team. So really pleased for him that he's back in scoring goals and taking the responsibility of the penalty. I know he made a bit of an arse at it, scored, but he took some responsibility. So no, really pleased, and a great goal to round off the scoring. Yep.
And Dave, where's New Douglas Park? Because it's the Fountain of Youth Stadium.
Oh, that's right. I'm sure my age now, Derek. I'm at the Fountain of Youth Stadium. Seriously. My God. Right, okay.
Yes, so that put us through to the quarter-finals of the Scottish Cup. The draw was made, and we are playing away against Hearts in the quarter-final. That's to be played on either the 29th of February or the 1st of March. So hopefully they figure out that soon, because that's the day I'm away down to Newcastle. So the 29th.
All right, okay.
So... yes, so in the table, that leaves us, we've played 24, won 19, drew 3, lost 2, scored 59, conceded 14, goal difference plus 45, and we're on 60 points. We're sitting in second, 7 behind Celtic, but with a game in hand, and we're 19 ahead of Motherwell. We've got a game in hand over them as well, so a massive gap there. There's no doubt that we're going to finish at least second, but obviously we're still gunning for first. It's still well within our hands. We win all our games at this stage that's left, and we win the league. It's as simple as that, with obviously the 2 Old Firm games.
The good thing is, Derek, is we know that we are not playing that great for our standards, but we're still, winning these games. I'll say it again, I think it was excellent that's Morelos now back, because that is second full game or third full game now, and he scored. So delighted for him. I think that'll, spur both him and the team on now. And I'll be looking. It's going to be a tricky game next, which I'm sure you're about to preview, because we've found it hard there. But again, I would like to think that we can go and put on a much improved performance after the last 2 games and getting the victories that we got.
Yeah, so the next game is played tomorrow, which will be tonight by the time you listen to this, which is away against Kilmarnock. Plastic pitch, a stuffy team, a bunch of hammer throwers sometimes. It's going to be a really difficult game, isn't it?
Yes, it is, Derek, and we've found it difficult there over the last 2 seasons. I think a lot of that had to do with Steve Clarke, to be fair, in the way that he had his team set out. I don't think Kilmarnock are as good as they were back then. I don't think they've got the belief that they did back then. So I will be looking for us to go there and put performance on, Derek, regardless of a plastic pitch or not. if we get the victory, I think that could be the one that the team look back on to say this is where our season really turned. I'm very optimistic, Derek. I'm not going to make any predictions. I would like to think that, again, I'm talking about Morelos back scoring goals. He's got a phenomenal record against Kilmarnock, Derek. I think I heard it's something like 11 goals he scored against Kilmarnock, and so he'll be fancying his chances tomorrow. I don't know how the likes of Hadji will play on the plastic pitch. I don't know if he's ever played on a pitch like that before. But I'm optimistic, Derek. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm just hoping that we put in a good performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Next game after that we've got is Saturday the 15th of February at home to Livingston in the Premiership. That's a 1500 kickoff. It's Thursday the 20th of February. That's the first European game at home to Sporting Braga. That's in the Europa League last 32. That's an 8 o'clock PM kickoff. Sunday the 23rd of February away to St Johnstone in the Premiership. That's a 13:30 kick-off. And Wednesday the 26th of February away to Sporting Braga in the second leg, and that's a 5 o'clock kick-off. So of note, that's a Wednesday, not a Thursday this time, so a quick turnaround there as well. So we'll probably try and be back maybe after the Livingston game, or certainly after the St Johnstone game. That'll give us 4 games, so we'll see.
The one thing that I would like to say, Derek, is I've just noticed there again is the goal-scoring form of one of our players who's on loan down in England at the moment, one Jamie Murphy, who scored again tonight for Burton Albion. I know it's not the top leagues down in England, but the guy is obviously shining down there, going by the fact that he's got Ojo and Barker in front of him, which I find quite strange. He is a goal-scoring sort of forward. He can play anywhere across the front three. I just think that we're maybe a bit hasty in letting him go. But I suppose it's getting his confidence up and his fitness. But again, proving that he's scoring almost every week for them. So I always did like Murphy. So I'm hoping that he maybe gets his chance back in the team, because I think he would definitely bring something to us.
Yeah, I don't know, it's a double-edged sword about sending players out on loan, because then you see them doing well and you're like, why is he out on loan? Bring him back now, we need him and all that kind of thing. But it's for his development as well, and at the time he went out on loan, we were playing fairly well, I think, weren't he?
Yeah, true.
Wasn't going to get a position, so you may as well, try and keep them happy and fit, as well as getting experience and get them a game. But that's hindsight for you, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, we'll move on now to the classic match.
And there it is! The final whistle's gone. Rangers have won the European Cup Winners' Cup.
So Dave, what's your classic match this week?
Derek, as you know, I've got a bit of a story to tell you here. I stumbled across, as I was looking back old archive videos, I came across a Rangers game from 1987. It was actually 28th of November 1987 when Rangers took on Hearts in the Premier League. And I watched the game back, and it was a bit of a cracker, and I thought, right, I'll cover this game. And basically I got everything apart from the Rangers team that day, Derek, because the archive footage that I watched didn't give me the team lineups. And I sat and I watched the game back a few times and basically filled in the blanks of who was playing for Rangers, but there were just 2 positions in the team that I just couldn't figure out. And I thought that the life of me that it was going to be Gary Stevens and Terry Butcher who were playing for Rangers in these positions, because it was the right back position and the centre half position, and I couldn't find out who it was. And I had the Hearts team and everything all down. I was searching through different archives to try and get the teams, and I just couldn't find it whatsoever. And then just a chance meeting with an old friend of mine, Good Blue Nose, who I'm going to mention in the pod. Chrissy, thanks again, mate. Told him about the dilemma that I was having, and he actually went back, Derek, and looked through a bunch of old programmes from that year and sent me a screenshot of all the teams that were playing that season. So I got the squad from there. So he's a bit of a lifesaver there. Thank you again, Chrissy. So the Rangers team on that day was Chris Woods in goals. It was Jimmy Phillips, Scott Nesbitt, Jimmy Nicholl, Richard Gough, Ray Wilkins, Derek Ferguson, Ian Durrant, Davy Cooper, Robert Fleck and Ali McCoist. The Hearts team on that day: Smith, Whittaker, Mackay, Kenny Black, Craig Levine, Dave McPherson, Burns, John Cahoon, Mike Galloway, Foster, and of course their talisman up front, John Robertson. So the Hearts team, Derek, full of recognisable, full international players. So it was going to be a cracker. 43,500 packed into Ibrox for that game, and it did live up to what we thought it was going to be. So started off early chance for Rangers. Robert Fleck gets away from his man on the right hand side, down the right wing, puts in a great cross for Ali McCoy. So it's a fantastic diving header, but it just sort of squirmed off, down, and then over the bar. Really unlucky there for Ali McCoy. But then Hearts back into it, and a chance for them. Mike Galloway up to John Robertson, who heads it down to Foster on the half volley from the edge of the box. That actually crashes right off the bar, and Rangers managed to clear. But only a few moments later, in the 29th minute, Rangers actually took the lead.
Away from McPherson. Good play by McCoy. A delicate ball across. Kenny Black, and it's Robert Fleck for Rangers. An absolute gift for Robert Fleck. We're 28 minutes into the first half, and Hearts, after playing so well for so long, concede a gift goal to Fleck. Cooper first of all. Here's some excellent play from Ali McCoy. Goes inside McPherson the first time, then goes outside. This is a fine cross, and Black should have cleared it, tried to pass it back to Smith, and the task couldn't have been easier in the end.
Davy Cooper on the left hand side, just in the halfway line, he spots Ali McCoist, of all people, on the left wing, plays a great ball up to McCoist, and then McCoist, fantastic skill, one way then the other, and then cuts back in, beats Dave McPherson hands down, puts this fantastic cross into the back post. It was going basically for Robert Fleck, or who he thought was Robert Fleck, but there was no one there, and Kenny Black actually just could see that the ball was there. He seen where his keeper was, and just played a cushioned pass back to Henry Smith in goals. But it was more than a cushioned pass, it was too quick, and Smith had to pull off a fantastic dive and save, but he basically just palmed it straight out to Robert Fleck, and he pounced and fired it into the net to make it 1-0 to Rangers. But just within 5 minutes, Hearts actually drew level.
Robertson beaten by Goff. This is Galloway. Tremendous goal from Mike Galloway. The first goal of his career at Tynecastle, and Mike Galloway will remember that, I'm sure, for a very long time.
Mike Galloway, who struck a sort of first-time shot from outside the box past Chris Woods. There was nothing he could do about it. Straight past him into the goal to make it 1-1. Rangers really needed to try and get something, and it wasn't even a minute after that. Ian Durrant picks up the ball, finds Davy Cooper, who was now out on the right-hand side, cuts inside his man, puts a great ball to the back post. Ali McCoy comes sliding in, but the ball just passed the post. Really unlucky there, so Rangers really going for it. And then just 2 minutes after that, on the 41st minute, Rangers retook the lead, and it was through another bit of calamitous defending by Hearts.
Kenny Black going back to battle hard for Hearts, but he's lost out to McCoist. McCoist has support on the outside from Durrant. There's Black. It's gone in. It's an own goal. Rangers take the lead. And this is a high-class ball inside. Fleck going for it, but it came off Levine, and Smith was beaten.
McCoist, who picked up the ball in midfield, he played the ball out to Ian Durrant on the right wing, who plays a fantastic first-time lob cross into Robert Fleck. But it was Craig Levine who sort of bundled into Fleck, knocked him over, but the ball hit Levine and basically trundles past Henry Smith into the net to make it 2-1 to Rangers. And Rangers took that lead into half-time. So into the second half, Hearts were really going for it, and it was link-up play with Black and Foster, who shoots for the edge of the box, and a fantastic save by Woods. But then straight up the other end of the park, Ali McCoy picks up, it was a long ball, and it was headed up to him. Derek Ferguson heads the ball, finds McCoist in the edge of the box. He twists one way, twists the other, hits a shot, but just over the bar. Really unlucky there. And then back again, Hearts putting more pressure on. A corner for the right-hand side, and it was a sort of half bicycle kick by Galloway, and he fires it, and it was a great save by Woods. He puts it out for the corner, still 2-1. But from that corner, Hearts actually scored.
Another corner kick. There's McPherson. Turned in by Robertson. The ball's in the net. And Hearts are back on level terms. The never say die spirit of Hearts pays off again. McPherson doing well, get his head to the ball. There was Robertson right in front of Chris Woods. The despairing effort on the line by Ferguson, but it was too late. And Hearts are back on level terms.
It was a header by McPherson into the middle of the box. It was redirected by John Robertson, again, who was their talisman up front, to make it 2-2. Game could have went anywhere. Ali McCoist, again though, just about 5 minutes after that, a great turning shot at the edge of the box again, and a fantastic dive and save by Henry Smith. And then thankfully on the 74th minute, Rangers retake the lead.
This is Fleck. Now Durrant, shooting chance for Durrant. Yes! 17 minutes in the end, the Rangers bench celebrates an Ian Durrant special. Well, this was Ian Durrant at his very best. His 7th goal of the season. The long kick-out started it. McCoist got a touch. There was Fleck setting it up inside for Durrant. He made the angle well. And he's so deadly from this position with a finish beyond the outstretched hand of Henry Smith.
Chris Woods has actually got the ball in his own box. He hits the long ball up, and it's headed on by all people of Ali McCoist onto Robert Fleck on the edge of the box. He lays the ball off to Ian Durrant, who made a fantastic overlapping run at the angle, and he hits it first time running away from goal, hits it back right across the body of Henry Smith, low into the corner. A tremendous goal, very similar to the goal that Hadji scored against Hibs. Outstanding. That put Rangers 3-2 up. Just after that, Trevor Francis came on for Davy Cooper at the 78th minute. Ray Wilkins picks up a loose ball in his own half. He plays the ball out to Ian Durrant on the left wing, and he just runs. And he runs, and he runs. Hearts are backing off him, cuts one way, cuts the other way, and then hits a low shot, which is a fantastic save again by Henry Smith. It would have been a great goal if he'd have scored it. Really unlucky there. And then another chance for Rangers right at the end of the game. Wilkins to Trevor Francis on the right wing. He plays it into Scott Nesbitt, who was running into the box. He hits a low shot, and again, a fantastic save by Henry Smith. But Rangers held on for the victory in that game to win 3-2. It was an excellent game to watch with some great players on show for both Rangers and Hearts. Ali McCoist, I thought, was absolutely fantastic in this game. Really did run lead the line for Rangers fantastically well. So again, if you get the chance, go back and watch it. You see some fantastic goals and some fantastic players. Did you watch the game back yourself, Derek?
I did, yeah. Had everything, didn't it? Crunching challenges and scrappy goals and great goals and yeah, great game. I loved the point as well where John Cahoon got pole-hagged. The referee just let play on, and then the ball went out of play. Their physio ran on, and the physio got ordered off again.
Told him to go.
The boy's lying in agony, and he tells the physio to get off the park. Brilliant.
It was. And again though, Derek, if you look back, and just even going back to the Hearts team there, if you look, Gary Mackay, Kenny Black, Craig Levein, Dave McPherson, John Cahoon, Mike Galloway, John Robertson, the vast majority of these guys all sort of international players. And John Robertson at the time, Derek, was a phenomenal striker. I mean, I actually was desperate for Rangers to sign John Robertson a few years after that, but it never ever happened. Of course, he's a legend with all the jambos out there, but he was a fantastic striker, Robertson. He really was. But great victory for Rangers against that, because it was a bit of a team that was put together, especially with Scott Nisbet playing in defence back in that time when he was just a young player. So, excellent victory for Rangers back then, and really pleased, and great that I managed to get the team lines in the end, Derek.
Yes, absolutely. So, another good classic match there from Dave, and we'll have another one the next time.
Yep.
So, now on to the news. Now, Dave, where the fuck do we start with this?
Oh my God, Derek.
Oh, it's baffling, some of this. Obviously, we've got to go back, 40-something days now to December the 29th to really cover this, because this is where it all stemmed from. Now, we know the reporting of Morelos has been fucking diabolical, for the past 2 years in the media. It's just complete xenophobic nonsense. And, they vilify him for absolutely no reason when you look at it. Yeah, he's had a couple of niggly lashes out on the park. Nothing dangerous, I would have said, but he's not this dirty player. He's never been booked, I don't think, for an actual foul. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he's actually had a foul where he's been booked. He's always been stupid mouthing off or random stupid lashing out or anything like that. And off the field, the guy is brilliant. He goes away, after that game on the 29th, went away and done charity work, flew all the way back to Colombia. So certainly not a character that should be vilified. However, he has been. So, the first one I've got here, Michael Stewart had a complete and utter epic meltdown on BBC Sports Sound, making accusations at gym trainer, asking for evidence of the racism on Morelos 8 times on the same show. BBC had to apologise to trainer afterwards and has actually pulled Michael Stewart from broadcasting duties both on the radio and on his Sports Scene presenter post as well. Ultimately, though, BBC, the presenter in charge or the producer of that Sports Sound show, should have halted it during his rant, but they allowed him to go on, so they're complicit in this as well. In the rant, he made claims about daily record breaking stories and being fed information about Morelos and the car issue what we talked about before. It was actually the Sun. The Daily Record then ended up writing an online article tearing Stewart apart about this as well, which was just joyous to see. And then what appears to be Michael Stewart, however, there's been another name attached to it as well, Craig Levine. A petition was started to get him back on air, and the mutants are absolutely fawning over this.
Oh my God.
He's clearly playing to their gallery because he's failed in everything he's done and he's got nothing left.
No, Derek, that's not true. He's got aspirations to become the First Minister.
That was just cheeky.
God help us all, that's all I can say.
Oh, man. Anyway, the saga continues because Sky had an interview, an absolute clusterfuck it's turned out to be, an interview with Morelos, where obviously because he can't speak English they've used a translator. And that was probably the wrong idea to do, because as much as the gist of it was right, they've embellished a lot of it as well, and they've put a few words in his mouth that they maybe shouldn't have. Celtic took umbrage to this, and in a roundabout way, they've made themselves out to be the victims in this one here.
Well, obviously, Derek, come on, obviously.
Sky pulled the interview pretty much instantly. They apologised, but no, Celtic couldn't leave it there at an apology. Like every normal person in every normal club would do, they've complained to Ofcom about this. The ironic thing about the whole Celtic statement in regard to this is that at the time they had done more to defend Morelos than we had, which was fucking shocking of our club, more than anything. But today they've taken it a step further and they've withdrawn cooperation from Sky Sports, and they're not allowing them into the press conferences. I mean, I wish we would do that with some media outlets, but come on to fuck. This is ultimately going to backfire on them majorly here, because, as I said, most clubs would actually just say, right, we accept your apology, you've pulled the interview, it's no longer on air. But they've taken this as a personal thing, which actually, see, the embellished thing that was said wasn't even that bad. And it turns out that, there has been somebody charged with it, which we'll get into in a minute. But, I mean, always looking to be the victim in something that's not even their issue, But anyway, the issue, as well as I was talking about with the car in Morelos, there was suspicions that it was tampering with the brakes. Don't know where that's been. Certainly somebody's been fed that line. We don't know where that's coming from. But a man has been arrested for looking at Morelos' car, charged with a breach of the peace, which is a bit of a catch-all, and ultimately it's if it causes fear and alarm to someone, that's what you can get charged for a breach for. A paper made a claim, I can't remember who it was, made a claim that was a private investigator hired by his wife. Now his wife's already been online saying, show me the proof that I've done this, because no, I've not. It gets even more baffling, you know. So it turns out as well, after police investigation, 44 days later, a 12-year-old has been charged with racism on that game for the 29th. Now, if it's regarding the video that's been widely distributed and seen by various journalists, that 12-year-old must be on 60-a-day habit because...
Exactly, yep, I said the same thing, Derek, yep, exactly the same.
So unless this is another one that's happened, this thing has got the Celtic fans enraged, which we'll get into in a minute, but on the back of this, Rangers have released an absolutely fantastic statement, both barrels, but in a fairly dignified way, despite what some of our fans seem to think. What's your thoughts on the statement anyway, Dave? Because I've not spoke to you about this yet.
Derek, I was delighted that they addressed the whole treatment of Alfredo Morelos. Absolutely delighted, because we've been saying it, and as you and me and every other Rangers fan out there, the treatment that guy has had from the media has been absolutely deplorable. He has been made out to be this complete, psychopathic, evil man that shouldn't be allowed to set foot in this country. It's been absolutely disgraceful. So I was delighted that the club addressed that. As you say, I think they kept it very dignified with a lot of it, but I have to say, for me, the last paragraph was absolute comedy gold for me. What's the actual words that was put on the statement, Derek? Have we got it here now?
Finally, Rangers would be more than happy to accommodate the young person involved in this latest incident on one of our courses designed to help people understand why racist and sectarian abuse is unacceptable. Indeed, if any of those journalists / pundits who got it so badly wrong would like to attend, we'd also welcome them.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
And that is putting the boot in, Derek, but without getting too personal. I thought it was excellent. It's been long overdue, in my opinion. It has divided opinion, Derek. I would say the vast majority of Rangers fans were delighted with the statement. There are a few who are not, who think it was a bit crass. But Derek, you put out a tweet earlier on and you were bang on the money, 100% right. The mainstream media are more bothered about who is in charge of Rangers media and who's putting the statements out rather than what the actual statements contain, which is really quite disturbing. Yeah,
I mean, Ewan Murray and Graham Spears had a go at it because it was Jim Traynor that wrote it. Yeah. Nothing about the racism at all. Now, no. It's some of our fans have kind of jumped on that bandwagon, and I don't like Traynor. I don't, the way he handles himself sometimes. Certainly, I don't want him around our club. I gave him full praise though for when he left the Daily Record. He had a great parting shot about the way the mainstream media, the sports media in this country treated Rangers, but he's not done himself any favours in terms of that. He's a very divisive character, and I think because of the way he dealt with himself leaving the Daily Record, he's angered a lot of his former colleagues, a lot of his former peers, and they've never got over that, and that's been the big problem. So ultimately he's toxic to Rangers. So this is the big problem. I want to touch on one point though, that the fact that you're talking about the last statement, and it's got the Celtic fans in complete denial over actually the fact that this 12-year-old said this.
Derek, he's been charged for it. So these things don't happen unless there's proof or evidence. So
right. I mean, ultimately,
as far as I'm concerned, it's happened. So
well, ultimately, people need to understand that the criminal age of responsibility in Scotland is aged 8. However, a person is only charged if there is an admission, which I don't know. We're not in that position to know that, if there is or not, or if the Procurator Fiscal are happy with the evidence supplied to them that there's enough there to get to charge this person. That doesn't matter if they're 12, 20, 40, 90. If there's enough evidence and the Procurator Fiscal are happy, or there's been an admission, the person will get charged. So if it's the person's been charged, that's what the case is going to be, quite simply. Now, Celtic fans are in complete denial, as they always are, about every single thing that one of their fans or their club do, because we've seen it time and time again with their child abuse scandal. They're now claiming that it's going to prejudice any trial that might happen for this 12-year-old. Well, for a start, he's not going to trial. It's not a serious enough offence. That's not belittling what racism is. It's not a serious enough offence to go to trial. So the more likely thing that will happen is, if anything, it will go to a children's panel than a children's hearing. So this prejudice any trial thing, this assumption of guilt, which they're hanging on this last paragraph that we highlighted there, is a load of bullshit. Inviting him to a course about racism and sectarianism isn't presuming he's guilty. All it's doing is allowing him the opportunity to see, this is what it causes. So once again, Celtic fans cannot handle when one of their own is at fault. And apparently one came on after the game on the 29th, after the story broke about potential racism against Morelos. Oh no, we self-police. That never happens at Parkhead. It does. And this is where the issue is. And it all stems back to the way the Celtic board allow their fans to get away with it with the Green Brigade, and then it then feeds into the media as well, because they just see this as normalised behaviour, and this is what's happened with Morelos over the past month and a half.
I think the big thing for me, Derek, is the outrage in the mainstream media from certain ones who, again, like Michael Stewart and the rest of them, who were desperate for some sort of evidence, who basically scoffed at the fact that this didn't happen. And here it has happened, Derek, and there's been charges brought. Is there anything going to be said by all of them who are the so-called voice in the media against their club? Are they going to come back and say anything? I doubt it very much, and that in itself is a complete scandal.
Yeah,
for me.
And what's even worse, though, is the fact that the match delegates report contained reference to Morelos being subject to racist taunts at Parkhead. They never reported that when they were asking for more evidence. They never, so they never let the cat out of the bag there. Us as fans never get to find out what's in the delegates report, but I'm pretty certain elements of the media will get to know what's in that report. So for them to hide behind this all this time, basically claim Morelos is a liar, because as Rangers highlighted in their statement, no other player seems to get this. There's been players in Scotland get racist abuse, never the same questioning of that player in Scotland. England have obviously got a bad issue with it now. That's never questioned when a black player comes out and says it. You turn this round to something, again, not belittling racism, but you turn this round to something even more serious. A woman says she's raped. Does the first thing that comes into somebody's mind says, no, well, show us proof? No, it's they take the accusation seriously, and certain things are obviously done from there, arrests, questioning, all that kind of thing of the suspects, not basically victim shaming the person who's claiming rape. So it's the exact same thing, just a different subject. So you're not going to victim shame a rape victim. You shouldn't victim shame a victim of racism.
But I again, Derek, and I don't want to get to cover old ground here. We know everything that has gone on at that club over the last 30 years, and they're still in denial about it. So if they're in denial about something like that, something like this, they're definitely going to be in denial about as well. It's something that's, again, not, as you say, but belittling the thing at all, but something that I would say was, less serious than that. So it's, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. I would just like to hear from all these so-called journalists who basically were scoffing at the fact that this could happen and were desperate for evidence to come out, just to hear what they're saying about it all now, but they've all suddenly went very quiet, Derek. That
especially should ring true for Davy Provan, who probably had the most racist comment of the lot of them, where in an article he says, if Alfredo Morelos can't handle the vitriol of Glasgow, he's in the wrong city.
Absolutely disgraceful, exactly, Derek.
Basically paraphrasing, if you can't stand racism against you, fuck off back to your own country.
It was one of the worst things that I've heard, for somebody as experienced as he is, regardless which team he played for him to have a prominent place in Scottish football, commentating as well these days. I mean, I don't know if he's still on Sky or not, Derek, but that was an absolutely disgusting and disgraceful statement that he came away with, and we've still to hear anything back for him as well. So absolutely shocking, and I'm surprised that there wasn't anything in the statement about that as well, but there wasn't, but it was disgraceful. It really was.
Yeah. Well, certainly Club 1872 released a statement today. It was along the same lines. It seemed to appease more fans, if you can call it that, but it actually named certain journalists, which, this is the thing that kind of annoys me is we've been calling for the club to come out and make comment and defend Morelos, and they've left it until now. All they needed to say was, we can't comment until the investigation's done. We will comment after we fully stand by our player. Fans were rightly so up in arms about the lack of even just that comment. They wanted the club to go double-barreled at the media and certain people in the media. The club done that in a very smart way, I felt.
Yes.
Yet they criticised the club for doing that as well. So it's as if they want the cake and eat it. They want the double barrel, but then as soon as we do it, they kind of shite themselves. Oh, no, that's not the dignified way we do things in this club. That's what annoys me about some, and I'm going over old ground here, so I'll move on now. But next story here I've got is rather worryingly as well. Dave King had been held up at gunpoint in South Africa, robbed him of a number of his possessions, and it's left him scarred for life and thinking about moving away from South Africa. So really shocking to hear. It's certainly something was fairly prevalent in South Africa, but we thought we were kind of getting away from that, but certainly worrying times again there.
Yeah, definitely. And as you say, if he's thinking about moving away, I don't think he'll be moving back to Scotland, Derek. No. So we'll wait and see what happens there. We're just glad that nothing more serious happened there.
Yeah. Next thing here is company CryoAction has become the club's official cryotherapy supplier. This is on the back of the cryo unit we installed in the Hummel to assist with the player recovery after games and during injury, and it goes down to minus 160 degrees centigrade. That's
rather them than me, Derek.
Exactly. Next one here, another bit of controversy, but very smartly worded as well. Rangers have partnered with Turnberry Resort. Careful not to mention Donald Trump in it as well. Basically, it's a mutual partnership offering events, hospitality, resort stays, etc. Despite what you think of that twat Donald Trump, Turnberry is still a luxury brand with worldwide recognition. So this is the kind of thing that the club need to be involved in terms of the luxury brand. So can't take that away from the commercial director there.
Donald Trump's buying us over. He's going to put in 20 million straight away.
That's a scary thought. If he had bought Rangers, the world might have been a safer place.
Exactly, definitely.
Aye,
build that wall, mate.
Next one here, I've kind of half mentioned it before. Michael Beale was hit with a 5-game ban with 2 games suspended, and Tom Culshaw was hit with a 3-game ban, I believe. It was charges from the SFA Article 204 in relation to the Tom Culshaw with the Hibs game and Michael Beale with him getting sent off in the Celtic game there.
Yeah.
Beale has since admitted that he called the integrity of the ref into question at the Old Firm game. So, quite good. Somebody has to say it out loud, and he sits up in the stand most games anyway, so it's really no skin off his nose or ours.
Yep. Okay.
Yep. Last couple of bits of football news here is Kenny Miller has finally retired at the age of 40. He put out a statement thanking and praising Rangers fans especially, so give him praise for that. I don't know if he's just trying to make sure he knows where his bread's buttered, but certainly it was a really good statement he put out, and no mention of the Orcs either.
No, Derek, I know that there's a hell of a lot of people I'll never forgive him for playing for Celtic, but yeah, the way that I look at it is I look back at what he did for us, and he was a great striker for us, he was a great servant for us, he scored a lot of goals, scored a lot of very important goals for us, and I certainly wish him all the best.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think for me it's more a case of he maybe got too big, kind of like the Barry Ferguson thing. He got too big for his boots in the club and didn't know where to stop, and maybe thought he could, undermine an inexperienced manager. So I don't know. We obviously don't know exactly what happened there. That's me surmising that, but no. That's how his legacy will end. But the last thing I want to mention here, and this is the only time we will cover this, much like the other podcast there, we don't want to give this guy any other time unless it comes to something that's going to be benefit us or detriment to him. But Craig White's book has been released on Friday. Clearly nobody from the Rangers persuasion will buy it, and clearly been aimed at the Green Pound. And it's been released on Valentine's Day, no less, so 8 years to the day from when he fucked us over, basically. The one thing that I will say about this is, depending on what he's actually said in the book, he's leaving himself open for a lot of defamation claims against him. So I hope for his sake, he's not very careful.
Derek, I'm sure there will be inserts all over social media, so it'll be plastered everywhere. You know what that mob are like, and it will be them who will go out and they'll be sad enough to actually buy it. So I'm sure we'll hear about a lot of stuff that's getting put in it. I, for one, am no interested at all. The man destroyed us, and I don't. I hope he gets absolutely nothing out of this whatsoever. And if there is anything like what you've just said comes of it, then bring it on.
Yep. So, Florida man wakes up on Christmas Eve to find intruder sucking his toes.
Okay.
A man in Florida was in for a nightmarish ordeal after waking up on Christmas Eve to find a home intruder sucking on his toes. The unnamed victim was asleep in his bedroom in Matinee County in the early hours of December 24th when the intruder broke in from the express purpose of sucking his toes.
Right.
When the homeowner awoke, his foot had been placed in the intruder's mouth. After asking the stranger what exactly he was doing on his property, the intruder stated he was there to suck his toes.
All right.
A fight ensued between the pair, during which the intruder attempted to fondle the victim's genitals before proceeding to threaten the victim by claiming he had a gun.
See, there was more on it than the toes, mate.
According to the police report, the homeowner, who had been alone in the residence at the time, did not see this alleged gun and no weapon was uncovered at the scene. Fortunately, the victim was able to force the suspect from his home. Deputies have stated that once they were both outside, the homeowner hit the suspect to the face for approximately 30 seconds before running back inside to call 911.
Fucking weirdos.
Feet fetish, man.
Oh dear, okay. Certainly different, Derek.
I don't think we could top last episode's one, to be honest.
No, definitely no. That was a belter.
With the horny duck. Dave the horny duck.
Dave the horny duck. Oh dear. Again, I'm not even going to question anymore where you get your sources from, Derek. So we'll leave it at that.
Yes. So that's it for another episode. As ever, if you want to check us out, if you go to our website, which is ireadypodcast.wordpress.com, and there you can find all the links to our social media sites, which I have still to update again, so I'm a few episodes behind, but I will get to it eventually, I promise.
Okay.
So we'll be back in probably maybe a week or two's time, and we'll cover the next set of games we've got to cover. So thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Take care, folks. Here's hope that we get the victories that we're looking for. Cheers.
Bye.
And the stadium erupts in red, white and blue. You've never seen anything like it.
Let's go.